Georgia's primary election results has been pouring in over the last 2 hours, so without further ado, let's get right into today's video. Now, the state of Georgia has about 28% of the votes counted across most of its races, and we have a good picture of how the races are going. Starting with the Republican primary for the governorship, KEMP has easily defeated David Perdue. This margin was wider than most people had expected, but KEMP, as the incumbent, people should not be surprised that he was able to win because he has that incumbency advantage, and David Perdue hasn't been performing the best in the polls and hasn't had the most solid of campaigns to make him have a formidable challenge towards KEMP. Stacey Abrams ran unopposed, while for the Republican primary for Senate, this race is actually closer. Gary Black at 14.1% of the vote, and Herschel Walker at almost 70% of the vote. This race should go to Herschel Walker. Raphael Warnock with an impressive 96.9% of the vote in his primary, as he is the incumbent in this race against another primary challenger who is only garnering 3.1% of the vote. Now, where it gets interesting is the Secretary of State elections, with the Republican and Democratic primaries. Starting with the Republican primary, Brad Raffensperger is at 50.2% of the vote against Jody Hice's 33.8% of the vote. Now, you might be wondering, that is a pretty large gap. Why can't they call it? Well, first off, news networks are more conservative and they don't want to make raw projections. But most importantly, in the state of Georgia, you do need over 50% of the vote to avoid the runoff, as this system was designed a long time ago. So Brad Raffensperger needs over 50% of the vote to win this primary, and he is barely over 50%. He is at 50.2%, and in a potential runoff, this race will be even more contentious, as Donald Trump will be really helping Jody Hice and all his ability to help Jody Hice to win this primary. So Brad Raffensperger should hope that he gets over 50% of the vote, or it will be very bad for him. Now, on the Democratic primary, B. Nguyen, I believe was a state representative and an ally of Stacey Abrams, who led the leading fund for the Democratic primary for Stacey Abrams. I'm getting ready to call it that this race will go to a runoff between B. Nguyen and and another candidate, but I'm not super certain at this point. In the Attorney General, Chris Carter, I have projected, according to my own decision desk, that he will win against John Gordon, but the Associated Press has not called it. Similarly, on the Democratic primary, I projected that Jen Jordan has won this race, though the Associated Press has not. Now, the interesting House elections are first off the 7th District Democratic primary, with 2 incumbents in this race. You might be like, why are there 2 incumbents? This is because redistricting has drawn these 2 incumbents into the same district, as the Republicans gerrymandered their map to make them have one more Republican district. Right now, Lucy McBath is at 80.5% of the vote, but it is only 6% reported, so there's still a lot of vote to go. So next district, the 10th district, I believe this is an open race. Mike Collins and Vernon Jones, this race will be very close. Vernon Jones actually ran for the Senate Republican primary, but he was not going to get Trump's endorsement. He is now running in this race. Mike Collins is another candidate that is running this race. This race likely will go to a runoff, given that how many candidates are actually in the race. Finally, Marjorie Taylor Greene, MTG, her primary looks like that she will end up winning this race, but she is at 70.8% of the vote, very comfortable margin for her. She should be able to hang on, but we'll just have to see because there's still 60% of the vote remaining. So that concludes today's video. Be sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more updates. I will be doing an update in an hour, so thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Bye!